Welcome back, everybody. Per usual, we're not going to have any expectations coming into this reading. We're just going to see what the cards have to say and we're just going to flow with it. I don't know if this one is going to be as long as the last two, but we'll just see what happens. I did go ahead and pull down another set of cards, the Romance Oracle set. A lot of you guys have seen this. If you haven't, welcome to your first time. but so again, I'm just going to take a card and I'm going to pull from my Modern Witch Tarot just for the overall energy, and then we're going to expand on it with this set of cards, okay? But let's take a look at this one. Okay, the first card that actually wanted to pop out in this Romance Oracle set was separation. So this has actually been the theme for the last couple of readings that I have been doing. If some of you, if you haven't really been paying attention, or if this is your first time, separation has been the theme a little bit the last couple of readings that I've did in terms of for the collective. Okay, I almost wanted to say separation of church and state, but while we're on that particular topic, there may be something tied to government changes somewhere, okay, that ties into the separation of church and state. Now, where this is going to be, I don't know. We still have some things that we're going to have to possibly take a look at because we parking lotted it yesterday, but we may have to add that to that as well. Okay, so these cards don't really shuffle like they used to, but that's okay. It's like I don't know, it's like an old Chevy or a GT Mustang 67 maybe. You just don't want to get rid of that joker. It may not, float like it used to, but wow, it's a classic, you know. So I'll look at that card in a second and I'll get one more. Okay. Two more came out. But we see that the give your relationship chance came in reverse. So I almost wanted to say that somebody is done, but energetically, the way that this kind of gives to me, it feels that someone has pretty much just given up. Even if there is opportunity for growth, even if there is room for growth, and this doesn't have to be romantically speaking, this can also be in terms of family. Some of you may be in this particular position when it pertains to a sister. You've just reached that point where you've just given up on even trying to consider how you could possibly work this situation out, work out your differences, agree to disagree. You just don't think that that's possible anymore. Okay, so let's look at the other cards. You deserve love came in reverse very soon. And we have forgiving and learning. There's just this element here where it at this point you can no longer be convinced again to give this a second chance. Now, this very soon actually to me feels that there is some sort of news that could be coming very soon. Okay, and it could be maybe someone trying to give or trying to give you somewhat of like a public apology. But some of you, I feel that you actually have been publicly embarrassed by this family member, this relationship partner, or that has been your constant fear for maybe the last 3 years, because some of you have been dealing with somebody for that significant amount of time, or it could be for the last 3 weeks you've just been feeling eerie about something, you've just been feeling like things are just off. All right. And, some of you, you may not necessarily want to say it, but because the way that this relationship has went, it is making you question if you are even able to have a relationship or somebody in your life that makes you feel worthy. But that may be where the problem starts. You're looking for somebody to solidify to you that you are worthy instead of just knowing that, you know what, I am. My picker is shit at this point, you know? Because I really feel that some of you, I'm not going to say everybody, but I really feel like some of you are kind of going through that phase right now where whoever this person is, they've made you feel like, you know what? Am I capable of love? Shoot, am I like some of you have even questioned if like your other family members or other bosses or whatever it is, you've even questioned if they even like you because the way that this person has been towards you. Now it's just for you, you're like, wow, if this person feels that way about me, do they feel that way about me? I also do feel there's a lot of gossip going on. So I can see where you're kind of wondering if other people feel the same way as this person because this particular person has may push you through a ringer a little bit. They could be a little bit of a gossiper. Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces. What's the other one? Virgo. I wasn't saying that all mutable signs are like that, but those are just the ones I was getting. A mutable sign: Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, um, Sagittarius were the four signs that I were getting, but those are mutable signs. Okay, but we know mutable is all about changes as well. So maybe there is also a lack of stability in this situation. Okay. Now, I don't know what news could be coming very soon, but let's see if I can get anything about what's coming very soon. 'Cause, yeah, you don't forgive this person. Even if they apologize, you're going to say, no, thank you. Even if it's in regards to, like I said, a family, a boss, whatever it is, you're just like, no, thanks. Because why would you like hang me out to dry like that anyway if you really didn't mean it? So you're questioning a lot of people's sincerity at this particular point, and the biggest person's sincerity that you're questioning is possibly the person that you have been sleeping with, next to, whatever it is. It's like, did everything they tell you, was it true? Because it's starting to look like a lie. And because it's starting to look like a lie, now that's making you question yourself. Okay, so some of you may have assets tied up in this particular situation where you've been lied to. It's like a ten of swords where you've literally been played like a played to look like the fool, or you literally are the victim in some sort of a way, but there is some sort of assets or something like that. But some of you guys, yes, they're assets, but I see this energy where something is going to settle quickly. Now, if some of you guys is some sort of like case or something like that, the outcome is going to be a very quick outcome. Now, if it's going to go in your favor, I'm not sure because, everybody's situation is different. But the Four of Pentacles in reverse here, that just feels like I said, that giving up energy. You no longer want to hang on. And the Four of Pentacles is all about status. So it also could be you no longer want to keep up with that image. Like, you know what? Yeah, 5 of I just said there's some type of assets, but I feel like it's gonna settle quickly. Somebody definitely is not fighting fair, and that may be the reason why this is gonna settle quickly because the other person feels backed into a corner. And some of you, this situation applies when it pertains to a work situation. Someone hasn't been on the up and up whenever it pertains to the accounting, the back office things, and now these things are starting to come to light more. So I hate to say it. I mean, I don't know if some of you have oops. I don't know if some of you guys have went through a layoff, but maybe yeah, that magician is coming in reverse. The magician with the 4 of pentacles definitely gives me the salesman. So at the end of the day, a lot of you, or not a lot, some of you, you guys sold a dream and it really wasn't going anywhere, but you knew this because it's possible that other people also kind of told you this, but you kept proceeding on because maybe you thought you could change this person's mind. And some of you are in this particular energy right now. You are under the impression that you can change this person's mind when it pertains to making a decision when it comes to your relationship, but you're about to be in for a rude awakening because you're going to see, or they're going to kind of show you in a way on how easy it is for them to pretty much let this go. So I would say it kind of comes across to me in this way that you are the one, like I said, the 10 of swords, you are the one that's left scathed in this particular scenario, even though you're trying to act like, oh, I'm okay. I don't really think you're okay. And I think you should be okay with not being okay sometimes. I feel ignoring those emotions that you feel is just unhealthy. And that just leads you here every time. So I feel you need to acknowledge those emotions. Like, you know what, right now, I don't really feel that, I don't really feel loved right now because of what this person did. Not saying you don't feel love at all, but that's just how you feeling right now, and I feel you have to acknowledge that. It doesn't help to just keep it in because some of you may start day drinking and you're not really a day drinker. It feels like you're gonna start picking up some sort of a habit because you're trying to cope. It's not worth it at the end of the day. But you're doing that because you just don't necessarily want to acknowledge, what you've been through. I don't know. I don't know if you feel like I'll just, if I don't acknowledge, maybe that's going to make me stronger. Of course not. It's gonna make you colder, possibly. But let's get the general energy for the collective. Yeah. Oh, would you look at that? Those two came out. Four of Pentacles in reverse and the Hierophant. There's a lot of what did I say? Separation of church and state. I have a feeling that it's about to go down in the government, probably in ways that would shock us. And this may go back to I don't know what was going on 1524, 1519. And I actually was getting something about the 1300s, but for some reason, I don't know why I'm getting like Catholic priests, the Catholic Church, the Pope, Catholicism. I don't know why this energy is taking me back there, but that's what I'm getting. There's gonna seem to be somewhat of like a mass exodus when it comes to religion, or it could go the opposite. Now, in a way, people are trying to turn to the I mean, there's just a lot of corruption going on, so I actually am not surprised that a lot of people could be turning back to their religion, and I'm not saying that, it's in, like, a super bad way because that could just some people coulda got lost and now they're getting back on the trail, but I just have this itching. I don't know why. Four of Pentacles and I'm also getting something about some sort of college exam, college admissions, or some sort of privately funded collegiate institution. Something's coming when it pertains to that. Um, I don't know what it could be. Something with a C. I don't know. I don't have a list of that. It's something with a C though. But I'm also hearing concubine, so that's very, very old school. So we may also be getting into a time where people start to kind of like flow into that particular thing, getting concubines, having concubines. Okay, yeah, the 10 of wands, a lot of burdens. Oh, and then we have the 2 of cups. Yeah. Okay, so another thing, the the institution of marriage. Something is going to go down when it pertains to this. Not saying that people won't necessarily get married, but a lot of people are going to start to feel like that marriage is too much of a burden, and so you may see more people in long in long-standing relationships, but they don't get married. But that is kind of like the shift that I'm seeing. It definitely goes against the status quo. So you're going to see some um examples starting to come out now when it pertains to what I'm saying, but the 2 of cups is still there. And you're going to see a lot of people going after people who come from very strict religious backgrounds. And honestly, I really don't know how this is going to work out, to be honest. Because as you can see, that 10 of wands and that 2 of cups, the relationship just becomes too difficult to maintain because of this. It completely goes against, what I grew up on, or I would say the status quo in their society or whatever it is, you know? It's gonna be hard to main it's well, some of you, it could just be even right now, you're feeling like it's hard to maintain relationships as well because you're working so much. That's another thing too. You're working so much because here, I mean, I don't know what the percentage is at when it comes to inflation. And even if inflation has moved out of that kind of like red zone type of energy, a lot of you don't necessarily feel that way because you're feeling burdened. And that burden also could affect relationships because you're going to be like, look, I don't really have the time to even want to be in a relationship because I'm having to do 50 million and one things just to keep up. So you may see a lot of relationships, or you yourself may be deciding to move away from a relationship, and it could simply be because of career or finances. Just, mentally, I don't have the energy to even focus on a relationship because I'm wanting to be successful, or I just need to focus on my career, or there's a lot going on and it's going to require me to pay full attention to what is going on in my job. So it won't even be a cheating thing. It's just simply a matter of, I feel like I can't do anything while being in this relationship because you're too demanding. And some of you could be dealing with somebody who is being too demanding. And that could be something that makes you go the other way. Like, you're just so damn demanding. What the hell? I can't do anything. There's that restriction that a lot of people could be feeling right now on top of this. So it's like there's a lot of problems. And I don't necessarily think that, well, I mean, who knows? It could, if I don't know if it has anything to do with infidelity, it could be. But I feel like this really simply is just a matter of respect, and you've just given up because you feel like the other person just is not putting in as much work as you. So very soon there's going to be even more, I feel like, people letting go of really long relationships. I would say 5 years or more. Okay. Now, some of you are still going to hang on because, again, you're going to completely go against the status quo or the traditional aspect when it pertains to marriage, and you're just going to do it your own way. But that is simply a Pluto and Aquarius type of thing. I think Pluto is finally going to enter Aquarius at the end of January. And we know Aquarius is the unconventional. It's focused on groups, it's focused on communities, okay? It's not the status quo whatsoever. So there's going to be a lot of changes. So if you are not, I would say fixed signs may struggle a little bit since we know that you are fixed, okay? And there's that element where it takes you a minute to get used to change. So if you are somebody and you're not, look how ironic this is, how these cards are just matching up, and I just realized that. So, if you're not really used to change, then you need to get used to change because a lot of it is going to be happening as soon as Pluto moves into Aquarius. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So we have lying, backstabbing. Okay. Be careful of forgery because I actually am getting something like that when it pertains to paperwork. Yeah, some of you, who knows, you may get a message or you may get a phone call, and the message or the phone call comes across and they're just like, well, we have this for you, or we see you agree to this, and you're just like, no, I didn't. So you have to make sure you're being mindful because hopefully nobody didn't forge your signature, but I'm not going to be surprised because there's a lot of corruption going on everywhere. And, it starts at the top. And then we also do have this element here where there is just simply a lack of respect for the hierarchy. I get it. I get it. There's nothing wrong with, having your own rules, but how can anything properly be governed if there isn't some sort of rules? But the way it's coming across with this, it feels like that collectively people don't want any rules at all. That is not going to work. That how can you, nothing is going to be structured. Yeah. There has to be some sort of structure, some sort. Even if it's one or two rules, there's still guidelines that have to be followed, and that's just not happening. Oh yeah. Oh, that makes sense. The devil. Okay, jealousy in a relationship. That's why some of you guys, this relationship has crumbled at your knees because there's jealousy. Remember, I said that energy where you're feeling overburdened, like, wow, I just can't really do what I want to do. Or it just seems like that when I'm in a relationship or in this particular scenario, I just can't do a damn thing. And some of you, this may be why you've avoided relationships because of this, like trying to rain on your parade, trying to get in the way. Even if it comes to trying to forge relationships in your workplace, it's the same scenario. Somebody's trying to get in your way. It's like I've been talking about it for the last couple days as well. When I talked about sabotage, I sincerely feel like that someone is in the process of trying to sabotage you, but it's a very slow process to me. Yeah, the hangman, the six of swords. Some of you, this person has made you feel like that you're crazy for, you know, um, feeling the things that you feel. They've kind of flipped it in a way. And you've reached a point where you're just tired of that. Yeah, 2 of Wands. Oh my goodness. Mhm. I think I said up here that some sort of financial betrayal, or you have to be very careful when it comes to some sort of paperwork where there's going to be a forged signature on it. You have to be careful because it feels like whatever this is going to force somebody to still be in a particular connection. So it could be one of those things where there's some sort of contract and there's a particular clause in a contract where it's just like, no, 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 you can't move on unless you go through these certain steps. And that may be something that you skipped over. But now you have to acknowledge it because you can't leave unless you do what it says in the clause. Otherwise, you're going to be out or you're going to be sued. Okay. We have the tower in. It's kind of weird because your expectations of this person is not really that great. So even if they have betrayed you or whoever this individual is, your inner knowing is kind of just like, I really don't it's like I don't really expect nothing else from you but to be a snake. And it's crazy that you know that, but yet you still continue to deal with this particular person. Okay? Some of you want to get rid of the nice guy or the nice girl and go for a bad boy or a bad girl, without a doubt. And this person right here in this section. Four of Pentacles again. So we have three sets of cards where the Four of Pentacles came out. Nine of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords. If you're dealing with an air sign, I feel like this air sign person is going to try to pick up speed when it comes to communication, especially if you block them. They're about to find a different way for you and them to speak. So it could be through a alternate profile, it could be through an alternate phone number or something like that. Some of you guys, I almost feel like somebody is going to show up at your door. Remember I talked about that drama? Some of you guys are in a relationship and there's just a lot of drama associated with it. And literally, maybe there have been people that have shown up at your door or shown up at your door maybe in a way of like social media or something like that. But it's just too chaotic. And I wouldn't even be surprised if some of you have possibly lost a significant amount of weight because of what you've been dealing with. It definitely has been a strain on your mental health. And I actually do feel that some of you guys, there is somebody who is not taking your mental health seriously. They're kind of taking it as a joke. And so like it feels like they keep poking in some sort of a way. Yeah. Remember I just said some of you are leaving the nice guy to go to the bad guy, or you may have already done this in your past and you could be having some sort of regrets. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Fool. Yeah, for those of you, if you're waiting on somebody to come visit you, or if you're waiting on like this, if you're waiting on this person that you are separated from to come in and knock down your door and say, I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to happen. If you've been separated for some time, or this is the situation, but I'm getting a heavy air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, I don't think it's going to happen, and they may have been the one that did you dirty. I don't think they're going to do it. I just don't get it. I don't. They and honestly, the way that this person sees you, I don't feel like it's in a good light. Yeah, this person feels like, I hate to say it, this person thinks you're an idiot because you've kind of like accepted, the things that they put you through, or you've accepted their circumstances and you're still like hanging on. So they think, it feels like they think less of you. So the respect is pretty much gone. So what is there to salvage at this particular point? Five of Pentacles, the Four of Cups. Okay. And then we have the Three of Swords over here, and we have the Five of Wands. Yeah, some of you may have actually found out this person was talking to multiple people, and you're just like, wow, slap in my face. Even if you and this person weren't exclusive, they may have led you to believe that you guys were. Again, it's like slap in my face. Like, how the hell could you do that? Okay. Be very careful if you are attending any sort of protest or anything like that, because I'm getting a lot of brutality here, especially when it pertains to law enforcement. So just be very careful, especially if you're going like, or honestly, New Year's. I don't know if it would be a good idea for you to travel for New Year's. Okay. I just don't feel like this is gonna go well. That's just my opinion, because it feels like some sort of riot or something like that could be coming 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 months, the third hour, or for like a Tuesday or something like that. So, you see how all these cards pretty much just speak to chaos. Two of Swords. I think you need to take the more passive approach. Especially if you need to especially to get through this particular situation, because I'm not even gonna lie to you, I think some of you have absolutely 100% been played. Played by the bad boy or played by the bad girl, or even when it pertains to your job. I think you're being played. It kinda comes across like they are laughing at you behind your back in some sort of a way if you're in this particular situation, especially if you work in sales or if you work in the prison system or if you work in anything tied to a realtor. I think you're getting played. You know, that I don't they don't value what you have to say. It's like whenever you bring up an idea, there's like this snickering type of energy where it's just like, "Oh my god, they're an idiot." But to your ugh, I hate though. But to your face it's completely different. Like, "What a great idea." They don't feel like it's a great idea at all. So some of you, you're not going to be able to move out of this toxic situation yet because there is something that needs to be settled. Assets, or it's just simply a matter of you need to decide that you want to be done. 'Cause how many more times is it gonna take for this person or people to embarrass you before you get the hint, you know? Yeah, you're giving up now, but you still love this person. Anyway, so, thank you guys for listening in, and I'll see you later.